Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're going to be answering how Ralf Rangnick will set up Manchester United, diving into the starting 11 formation and of course transfers. Remember to subscribe if you're new and smash that like button. But anyway, let's get this party started. With Ralf Rangnick set to become Manchester United's interim manager, I'm going to give you a brief insight into what he'll bring tactically and how he'll set up the Reds. With a coaching career that stretches back to the 1980s, Ralf Rangnick has been around the block, with his most successful managerial spell coming at Hoffenheim, with back-to-back promotions taking the club from the German 3rd Division to the Bundesliga for the first time in their history. Rangnick's genius was finally realised. Since then, the Professor has been more involved at board level, as he oversaw the Red Bull revolution in Salzburg and Leipzig as the director of football. His most recent spell in management came in the 18-19 Bundesliga season, where he kept the RB Leipzig seat warm for Julian Nagelsmann, mainly deploying a 4-4-2 with his wingers operating as interiors, more commonly referred to as the 4-2-2-2. Rangnick took the club 3 places higher in the Bundesliga, 13 points better off than they were in the previous season under Ralph Hassenhuttl. The godfather of gegenpressing, Ralf Rangnick is given the majority of credit for inventing the style of play. Famously, Rangnick's Hoffenheim pressed Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund off the pitch in a 4-1 victory back in 2008. A week after the defeat, Klopp wrote in his pre-match programme, "The way Hoffenheim crushed us last Saturday should be a reference point for our team. We have to develop Dortmund so that we can press like Hoffenheim." Despite being more than 10 years older, Rangnick's team still adopt the same approach. His last Leipzig team deployed a high and intense gegenpress. Pressing from a very narrow block, Rangnick's Leipzig were able to press high and frequently force turnovers in dangerous positions. In fact, in Europe's top 5 leagues that season, Rangnick's Leipzig ranked first for successful pressures per 90, with the best success rate, and they ranked first for goals following defensive actions. In possession, his Leipzig team would get all of its width from overlapping fullbacks, the attacking structure resembling a 2-2-4-2, as the creative interiors, Sabitzer and Forsberg, could create from the half spaces. Rangnick's teams don't tend to build out from the back and invite pressure to create space higher up the pitch. Instead, they are very direct and often look to play forward as quickly as possible. His style of football is intense, direct and tough to keep up with, but it can be extremely rewarding and it's very, very fun to watch. So what can we expect at Manchester United? Logically, the 4-2-2-2 will return, but this isn't the only shape that he's used in his career. He's had a lot of success with a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2 diamond and a 4-2-3-1. So don't be surprised if we see these tweaks from game to game. In my opinion, United's squad is made for Rangnick's 4-2-2-2. The Professor will give all of Manchester United's players a crash course in gegenpressing, and whilst this could force a lot of fatigue and injuries without a pre-season, United's squad is big enough to cope with the demands. The big question mark is Cristiano Ronaldo, too good to drop, but not suited to gegenpressing. An energetic strike partner could be crucial in allowing him to feature. In terms of personnel, I think we'll see David De Gea in goal, a backline of Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire and Shaw. However, the high line that comes from Rangnick's press and the attacking responsibility placed on the fullbacks, Diogo Dalot and Telles, could become key under the German. The high line could also see Victor Lindelof get a chance to displace Harry Maguire, with his pace and ability as a cover defender perhaps more useful to Rangnick. In terms of midfield, Scott McTominay and Fred are the obvious pair. Their industry and energy and the destructive talents make them ideal for a pressing system. However, the gung-ho approach of Rangnick could see Bruno Fernandes played in a deeper role against weaker opposition. We often saw Marcel Sabitzer deputise in a similar capacity at Leipzig, which allowed Rangnick to get in another forward, and we could see something similar at United. But in terms of the most used 11, Bruno could operate as a left interior with Jadon Sancho on the other flank. Sancho will massively benefit from the narrowness of Rangnick's shape, and I expect we'll see him combine frequently with Bruno Fernandes as the duo dominate the half spaces. And finally up front, his Leipzig side used a target man in Yusuf Poulsen and a pacey pressing forward in Timo Werner. Whilst United don't have a target man quite in the mould of Poulsen, Marcus Rashford will thrive as a pressing forward in the front too. His pace, energy and intense running when the players ahead of him will see him score a lot of goals under the Professor. Meanwhile, playing alongside a partner will still allow him to drift wide to get on the ball, Speaking of which, I think Cristiano Ronaldo will partner Rashford. Edinson Cavani is the perfect alternative and is more suited to Rangnick's football, but Ronaldo scores every time he plays, which can't be ignored. It's also important to remember he's in unbelievable shape, and we've seen him sprinting and pressing right up until the final whistle in the Champions League. If Ronaldo believes in Rangnick's system, which he will because it'll create loads of goal-scoring opportunities, I think we could see a harder working Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's not ridiculous to think United's forwards can be taught to defend from the front. Jurgen Klopp taught his famous Liverpool front three how to defend, highlighted by Rangnick himself. I can tell you, all of those three players, including Mo Salah, when they came to Europe or now to Liverpool, not natural ball winners. They were not the kind of players that everyone said they are pressing machines. So all the things that happened at Liverpool was the job of the coach and the coaching staff. And this shows you what is possible, what can happen if a coach with a mindset and clear identity of how his team should play, what can happen. In my opinion, Ralf Rangnick is the best interim option, full stop. And if he was 10 years younger, he'd be a contender for the full-time job. Rangnick has been incredibly successful as a director of football, so after his interim spell, could simply move upstairs, and his style of football and style of recruitment will be perfect for Manchester United to become dominant in the Premier League once again. But anyway guys, what do you think? Are you excited by the appointment of Ralf Rangnick, and how do you think he'll set up the Reds? Get into the comments below and let me know which players you think Rangnick should bring to Old Trafford. I've been Statman Dave, subscribe if you do, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more content on the Statman Dave YouTube channel.